All right, let's just jump right in. We all want to be happy, don't we? It's kind of the one thing that connects every single one of us. But what if we've been looking for it in all the wrong places? So, in this explainer, we're going to distill the big ideas from our source material on how to stop chasing happiness and actually start building it from the inside. The source material kicks things off with this brilliant analogy. And just think about that for a second. We've all seen it. Happiness looks like it's right there on the horizon, this perfect, shining thing. We start running towards it thinking, this is it. But the closer we get, it just moves. It's always a little bit further away. And that right there sets up the universal problem, what we're calling the happiness rainbow. So many of us spend our entire lives on this treadmill chasing a feeling that seems permanently out of reach, always just over the next hill. And honestly, it's an absolutely exhausting, lifelong chase. I mean, does this sound familiar to you? Because it sure does to me. We're always making these little bargains with the universe. I'll finally be happy when I graduate. Then, as soon as that happens, we immediately say, okay, I'll be happy when I get that great job. And then it's the promotion, the house, the vacation. The finish line just keeps moving. So what do? We double down. We chase the external stuff even harder. The source uses the example of a yellow Ferrari, but it could be anything, right? That new car, a bigger house, a lottery win. We think that's the oasis that will finally quench our thirst. But it's a mirage. The moment we get there, there's nothing but more sand, and we're left just as thirsty as before. So here's the absolute heart of the matter. The source material argues this whole external search is just fundamentally broken. And this isn't some new idea. Wise teachers have been saying for literally thousands of years that we're all looking in the wrong direction. The real deal, true happiness, isn't out there. It requires a complete 180-degree turn, a journey inward. And that's exactly where we're headed next, to the solution, looking in the mirror. And not just to check your hair, I mean really looking deep inside yourself. This is where the source says we can find everything we've been searching for. But first things first, we need to get really clear on what it is we're actually looking for. Okay, so let's define our terms. The one we all use is happiness. But notice the key words in that definition. It's a state that comes from possession or attainment. It's completely tied to getting something from the outside world. Now contrast that with bliss. This is a totally different ballgame. It's not a reaction to something that happened. It's described as a supreme, absolute joy. It's a state of being. The source actually argues this is our true nature, our sort of spiritual factory setting. And finally, there's contentment. Think of this as the bedrock, the foundation. It's that peaceful feeling of being okay, even when things aren't perfect. It's a deep satisfaction that's there even when you don't get what you want. So you can really see the difference. Happiness depends on things going your way. Bliss and contentment, they don't. So when you lay it all out side by side, it becomes crystal clear. The external chase is reactive. You're always at the mercy of circumstances. It's fleeting, based on having things, and man, is it stressful. But the internal path, that's a conscious choice. It's lasting, it's based on your state of being, and it leads to peace. The choice seems pretty obvious when you see it like this, right? Okay, this all sounds great, but how in the world do you actually do it? Where do you even begin? Well, the good news is we don't have to just wander around in the dark. The source gives us a kind of treasure map, a really cool ancient Zen story called the Ox Parable, and it lays out the whole journey. So, the main metaphor in this story is the ox. The ox represents our true nature, that deep, authentic self we're all looking for. But here's the catch. To find the true, calm ox, you first have to confront the wild ox. And that wild ox? Yeah, that's our own mind. You know, the one that's constantly restless, totally untamed, and pulling us every which way. And this parable gives us a clear roadmap. Step 1 is the search. That's when you start asking the big questions about life. Then comes the really hard work, taming the mind. This leads to integration, where you and your true nature finally become one. But, and this part is crucial, the journey doesn't end there. The final step is to return to the world and live from this totally new place of awareness. So, what's the #1 tool for taming this wild mind? The source is incredibly clear about this. It's meditation. It's described as the key that unlocks the door within. I mean, what a powerful way to put it. It's the actual practice that lets you quiet all that external noise so you can finally start the real work.
And as you practice, you start to develop these, let's call them inner skills. And these aren't just nice, fluffy ideas. They are practical tools for your toolkit. Self-control to manage your impulses, non-attachment to let go of needing things to be a certain way, and of course, real compassion and forgiveness for yourself and for others.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source. It makes mastering something like self-control feel so much more modern and doable. Think about it. Life is a game. As you get better, you level up. And yeah, the challenges get tougher, but that's the whole point. You're not just getting bounced around by life anymore. You're actually mastering the game. So after all this work, where does the journey lead? Well, the destination isn't some mystical place on a mountaintop. It's a state of being described as riding the ox home. It's all about bringing this newfound wisdom and peace back with you into your regular, messy, everyday life. And this is such an important point the source makes. This isn't about escaping the world or becoming a hermit. It's the exact opposite. The goal is to be fully engaged with life, to have your feet planted firmly on the ground, while at the same time having your head in heaven. It's about living in both worlds at once. So what's the payoff for all this inner work? Well, the source calls them the fruits of the journey. And they're pretty amazing. You get that inner bliss that's always there no matter what's happening outside. You find a deep contentment that puts your mind at ease, and you discover a perfect balance, that middle way, where the ups and downs of life don't throw you off course anymore. Ultimately, you get to this incredible state, captured perfectly by this quote. Your happiness becomes portable. You carry it with you. Because it's not tied to a specific person or place or outcome, it can't be taken away. You could be stuck in traffic, dealing with a tough day at work, and that inner heaven is still right there with you. It moves with you. But believe it or not, the journey doesn't end there, with your own personal fulfillment. The ox parable has one last, absolutely crucial stage, and it's the one that brings the whole journey full circle and gives it a much, much bigger purpose. This final stage is called In Town with Helping Hands. After you've done it all, found the ox, tamed it, and ridden it home, the truly wise person returns to the marketplace, to the chaos of the world, not to take, but to give. The ultimate purpose of finding your own peace is to share it with others and help them with their own struggles. And this powerful quote, highlighted in the source, just says it all, doesn't it? After all the seeking, the meditating, the self-discovery, it all boils down to this one simple, profound principle. The highest practice of all is just being kind. So we'll leave you with this question, taken straight from the source. We've laid out the map for you, the problem, the path inward, the tools for the journey. But having a map isn't the same as actually taking the first step. The treasure is within you. The only real question left is, have you started digging yet?